Hello everyone, welcome. In this series, we are going to learn about Composio's one of the most powerful features, local tools. How they can enhance our agents, can increase the capability and enables us to add more functionality to our agents of different platforms. So let's start. As you know, Composio gives us hundreds of different tools and thousands of different pre-built actions to interact with our daily use tools like Gmail, Discord, and a lot others. But to manage authentication, maintain users' data securely, and to give the user a smooth user experience, we usually manage the whole backend on a separate Composio server. To maintain authentication, users' data securely, and to give the user a smooth experience, we manage all of this and execute each of these actions in Composio server. But the user might want to run some of these actions locally, or he or she might want to add some of their own functionalities so that they can enhance their agents through Composio. And don't forget, one benefit of Composio is if you add that tool to Composio somehow, you can use those with all your favorite platforms like OpenAI Assistant as well as AutoGen, LangChain, Julep, and everyone. So that would be good, right? So that's what we bought with local tools. So here you can see local tool enables us so that the execution data isn't ever out of the user's local machine. So if he is concerned about his data privacy, then he can act according to that. As well as he can add as many new tools and actions. And once they are added, they can easily be used with any of the Composio supported platforms. So we already have added a number of local tools for the users, but a lot are being added regularly, and the user also can add by themselves. So some tools are added a file management tool. We've added a code explanation tool. We've added functionality so that user can locally manage their workspace. We have implemented RAG so that they can query over their documents and data. We have added web scraping tools as well as some simple mathematical functionalities, and the listing is being extended each day. So now the next thing is how do an user use these existing local tools as well as he or she add a custom local tool. First we will see how a user can add their custom tool to Composio, and then we will see how to execute any of the local tools existing or the ones that is customly added. So let's just go through the instructions, but we will obviously go through a specific local tool and see its whole implementation so that it's easier for the users to add new tools. So just to give you an idea, this is a part of the Composio open source repository, which I will share with you in the next video. So there we have a local tools folder, and inside that, every tool actually contains their own folder, which is denoted by the tool's name. Then there is a tool py file, as well as to modularize the thing, there is an int py file. And each actions we under the tools, these are under the action folders. So what you can see is the web tool is a tool, but these are some actions so that we can extract website content or website elements. These are actually different actions which will reside in these action folders. And then there are two more relevant files. One is in the client folder, there is an enumpy file and there is a local handler file. We will see those. So what we have to do is, let me give you a general idea, but we will describe in even more detail in the next video. So first we will prepare this whole folder for tool. So what would happen is for our new tool, we will create this tool folder, and in the tool file, we will create a class that inherits from our provided tool class. Then we will export it through the init.py file so that it can be imported easily. The same thing we will do also in the action folder files. We will create an action folder, and there will be one or more action files depending on how many action user wants to add. Each action file will implement one of the actions, and the structure is to be noted that the structure of implementing an action is we use Python based models. The request schema defines the input schema or the schema that the LLM or the agent will see and know which function parameter values are to be provided and their data type and everything. This is defined by the request schema, and the response schema is the output structure of the function. So when this information is provided to the agent or to the LLM, it can provide the relevant function parameter and the function call detail, and then we execute the functions. And this execution logic is written in this execute member. We to define an action, we always implement a class that inherits from the given action class, and then we just define the execute function as well as this response and request schema. We'll see in details the next video. And then we put one or more action classes in the relevant init files so that they also can be imported easily. And finally, we said there are two more files. One is a local handler file. There we import our implemented tool and initialize that tool so that that is registered. This is the official registration of a new tool so that Composio interface knows that there is a new tool. And the last thing is how would an user access the new tool. We saw previously, we provide an app and an action enum on which we have all the apps and all the actions. Everything related to that is defined in the client enum spy folder. And in there, when we add a new app, we will add a new value relevant to that app or that tool, as well as an action or more actions depending on how many actions we have defined to the action type. So that's basically it. And finally, when you've made these changes in the source code, you will install the Composio code repository for once. Once you have done all these changes and added your own action on own tools to the Composio source code, you can reinstall the package and this new action will be available to you. So here we have linked to some implementations or some example implementations of our local tools, and this page is available in the Composio topic. So that's it for the video. In the next one, we will see how to implement the local tool, and we will go through the code and implementation of one tool. So thank you. Stay tuned. Let's make something great with Composio.